Where is Akon City at right now?
Our goal is to be the first phase to be done still by 2026. You're going to have the hotel, the Akon Tower, which is built, which is the corporate building, loading docks, restaurants, the stores that sell food and everything else like that. And it's going to be ambulances and a mini hospital for now. It's going to be the biggest hospital in Africa.
We drove inside the city and this was all I saw. This right here is the only building that has been built in Akon City.
There's no way you genuinely thought a musician was about to build a real life Wakanda, bro. Especially Akon out of all musicians. First of all, what even went through this bald nigga mind to even think he can build a Wakanda-like city in Africa? Who gave him the keys to the city to even build this shit? You can't even do that shit in Sims. Mind you, this is the city he was trying to sell to the people, and this is all they've done.
Y'all are not gonna believe this. Remember when Akon announced he was building his own city in Africa? Akon claimed this was supposed to be a real-life Wakanda in Senegal, powered by cryptocurrency and solar energy. And the media ate it up. Meanwhile, fans praised him for giving back to Africa. And for a minute, it really looked like Akon was about to change the world.
Akon City is going to be the first futuristic smart city in Africa.
And are you working on that now?
Oh yeah, we're in process working on it as we speak.
But fast forward a few years, and that Wakanda he promised is looking more like a ghost town, literally. The land where Akon City was supposed to rise is mostly empty. A couple of small buildings, some cattle, and a dusty sign welcoming people to a city that doesn't exist. And then Akon also promised he would create his own cryptocurrency called Acoin. I thought that was pretty clever. It was supposed to be the foundation of this entire city, and a new digital currency that would empower Africans, create jobs, and revolutionize local economies. But behind all the hype, the project faced delays, confusion, almost no adoption, and a lot of sketchy business moves. And now, on top of all this, we're hearing that the Senegalese government ended up reclaiming most of the land, and they gave it to a different investor for a state-backed luxury resort project. As for Akon, he was left with just a tiny slice of what was supposed to be his empire. So what exactly happened here? Was it a genuine plan that fell apart? Or was it just another celebrity scamming people while acting like a savior? Let's get into the receipts.
Last time you were here, you were saying that Akon City was supposed to open in 2026.
Yeah.
So where is Akon City at right now?
We're still on track.
When Akon first announced his plans for Akon City back in 2018, people legit thought he was about to change the game. He claimed he was building a city from scratch in Senegal, supposedly modeled after Wakanda from Black Panther. He called it a futuristic Pan-African city that would attract the diaspora, empower locals, and put Africa on the map of tech innovation.
Well, Akon City is for the future, and it's for the youth. Because the whole idea, if you're gonna build a city, you gotta be thinking the future. You know what I mean? I think the city is right now, it's a 10-year project, estimated. With all the latest new technologies, though, it might get shorter. You know what I'm saying? But with current technology, if it exists the same, which I doubt, it should be 10 years. But I wanna keep the threshold for 10 so we don't under-deliver to an extent. So if we finish early, that'd be great. But the whole idea is to create what the future of Africa should be. You know, we have all the resources, we have the manpower, we definitely have the population. So it was just a matter of putting something in a country that can pretty much scale out to every other country that we can copy and paste.
Akon promised hospitals, schools, luxury apartments, malls, hotels, a subway, a tech hub, a stadium, and even an airport.
The line, everything will be inside it, by the way.
Like everything you need, grocery stores,
Everything.
gyms, entertainment.
Subways, transportation.
It's so crazy.
Once you're in there, you're in there.
And all this was supposed to be powered by renewable energy and run on his own cryptocurrency, Acoin.
Platinum-selling artist Akon is working on a new business venture. He's launching his own cryptocurrency called Acoin. Akon says Acoin will be the currency for his futuristic town under development in Senegal. When asked how the currency will work, Akon replied, quote, "I come with the concepts and let the geeks figure it out."
Akon even held a big flashy launch ceremony with government officials, investors, and the press. There were 3D models, drone shots, and the whole PR machine.
We're looking at Akon City as to become the beginning of Africa's future. And our idea here is to build a futuristic city that incorporates all the latest technologies, cryptocurrencies, and also the future of how African society should become in the future.
And people were sold. Not just the fans, but actual investors started backing it. The general vibe was, Akon's not just talking, he's building, and people were eating it up. Too bad the receipts didn't match his promises. Spoiler alert, it's not giving Wakanda, fam. So a few years after the big announcement, a few journalists and YouTubers actually went to the site of Akon City in Senegal to see what's been built. And the answer? Practically nothing. The land is mostly untouched. No skyscrapers, no solar-powered smart homes, no crypto hubs, just a dirt road, some cows, and a dusty welcome sign.
So we're approaching Akon City, as you can see. That is Akon, and it says Akon City.
The best city. You have to go, guys. You have to do it.
Alright, we're almost close. That's Akon City over there. We drove inside the city, and this was all I saw. This right here is the only building that has been built in Akon City. Although this building looks futuristic, but this project is looking like a disappointment. And switch, the first stone was laid in 2020, and since then, the whole area around it has been mostly grassland with animal grazing on it. Citizens have been promised mouth-watering job opportunities and a better economy, are now beginning to question the efficacy of a deal with the federal government and the celebrity Akon.
Akon previously said that phase 1 would be done by 2023, and he claimed the first thing that would be completed would be a hospital.
Whole country. So we're starting with the hospital first. You know, the hospital is going to be the hospital alone is close to $1 billion, just the hospital. Because it's going to be one of the biggest hospitals in all of.
But to this day, there's still no sign of that hospital being built. Local residents say they haven't seen any real development, and many of them don't even know what the project is supposed to be. One local resident told the BBC, "We were promised jobs and development. Instead, nothing has changed." But it gets worse. It was just announced that the Senegalese government reclaimed most of the land that was originally allocated to Akon's company. They handed it over to another investor who's now building a luxury resort backed by the state. And now Akon is just left with 8 hectares of land, a tiny fraction of what he originally had. Now, Akon kept making excuses for the delays, first blaming the COVID pandemic, then claiming the investors were hesitant to commit money. He also shifted the blame to the Senegalese government and claimed he was struggling to get permits, land deals, and approvals. But he refused to admit the project failed, and he recently started claiming there's a secret agenda against him and that powers that be are running a smear campaign to discredit his dream of building a real-life Wakanda.
So the infrastructure part, you were building Akon City.
We're still building it.
You still building it.
Yeah.
So why are they saying it stopped?
It's a big dream. It's something that it goes beyond the capabilities of what they think one man can create. And what they don't realize is it starts off as a dream and then it continues as something that becomes reality as people start to adapt it for the future, 100%.
Well, I'm happy that you're still building the city.
Oh, yeah, they ain't gonna stop.
Because the
It's not
media,
gonna stop.
so do you now put out a press release? Or you just let them talk?
Well,
How
the
does
thing
that
is,
work?
all you can, because you can't fight the internet.
You can try.
I mean, listen, I got teams on it trying to combat all the negative, false information that these people are putting out. And just last week, we had over 23 million false ads on Akon City, just negative.
Where is that coming from?
It's the agendas, the powers that be.
Ah.
That's how it works.
Okay.
You know, when they want to destroy something.
But see, this wasn't just a delay. It's a total collapse of the original plan. The billion-dollar city of the future that Akon promised is now a ghost project, and nobody seems to know where the money or the accountability went. As for his cryptocurrency, the sketchiest part is that the team behind Akon was mostly Western tech and finance guys, not exactly the grassroots African vision Akon kept talking about. There were also some rumors flying around that Akon was a pump and dump scheme, or even part of a larger Ponzi setup. Now, nothing was proven, but it was enough noise to make people very uncomfortable. And we haven't even gotten to the lawsuits yet. So while Akon was out here selling the dream of a real-life Wakanda, behind the scenes, things were falling apart. And now even the Senegalese government is done pretending. They finally came out and said what everyone's been thinking for years. Akon City is dead in the water. According to the BBC, the government sources confirmed that the project didn't just slow down, it completely flatlined. The officials said there has been no real construction, no visible progress, progress and no actual funding to back up all of Akon's promises. So after all that Wakanda talk, the government basically pulled the plug and said the project has stalled beyond recovery. As for Akon, he recently admitted he did way too much with the promotion and PR, but he's still claiming that Akon City will be built. He's just not sure exactly when.
They're like, yo, what's taking Akon so long? What is he doing with the money?
I think people kind of fail to realize sometimes when you build an infrastructure how long it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about how long it takes you to build your house. That's gonna be about 19 months, easy. So now we talk about building a city. These are things that takes 10, 15 years of development just to get phase 1 going.
Yes.
And I think my biggest mistake was I promoted it heavily before I got it started.
They won't microwave.
Yeah, right. So when I say, yeah, I'm building a city, so now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have time to get the plans together, promote this shit. I had, the 3D rendering all on the internet so people saw what it was gonna be looking like. I'm not knowing that people thought that the city was already up.
They're saying there's a race between you and Dr. Umar Johnson who's gonna get their shit up first. The school hasn't been built yet.
But I built over 20 schools already.
Oh, that you smoked them, man.
The schools are easy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about building a city. That's a full infrastructure.
Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Akon isn't the first celebrity to try and rebrand as a philanthropist or an entrepreneur. Unfortunately, Africa is a playground for forward investors, scammers, and self-proclaimed saviors looking to make a buck while claiming to help. The Akon City project gave Akon global press, investor attention, and a credibility boost he hasn't had since the early 2000s when he was dropping hits like Smack That and Lonely. After he announced his plans to build a real-life Wakanda, he got to sit on panels, speak at summits, and get praised as a visionary without having to actually build anything. Meanwhile, the people in Senegal were left with nothing but empty land and broken promises. And Akon still hasn't been held fully accountable. So far, there's still no major investigation and certainly no refunds for investors or communities left in the dark. Now, was it all intentional? Who knows? But either way, the outcome is the same. Money wasted, hopes raised and destroyed, and another story of Africa being used for someone's legacy project. But let me hear your thoughts on all this. Do you think Akon was genuinely trying to help, or was this a scam from the start? Leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.